Yo, what's up, guys? Yo, doing today? We're talking about season 4 of Abbott Elementary. Definitely one of my favorite shows of all time. It is hysterical. Every single what is today? Thursday, because it comes out Wednesday, but on Thursday comes out like 3 a.m. Eastern on Hulu. Hey, soon as Thursday night hits, I'm tapped in. So just watch the season finale. Oh my god. It was great. I mean, the amount of fixed, repaired relationships were insane. You know, Greg and his dad, Ava and her dad. It's just amazing. It's just perfect bow for all the 8th or 9th graders. I forgot which one of them was that. I think it was the 8th graders. I think maybe, yeah, they were graduating. There's a perfect bow on that season. Really good. Overall, I gave season 4 Abbott Elementary a 9 out of 10. I'm gonna start off with the season finale, and I'm working my way to in order of what I have down. So, season finale, I didn't really know what to expect. Ava had just gotten her job back, and I'm like, okay, let's see what's gonna do. She immediately, in typical Ava fashion, changes up everything Greg did, everything that was going on previously when she wasn't there. That's all gone. It's back to Ava way. What I love this season, I feel like Ava really grew on me. Not that I didn't like her, is that I didn't like her as much as I liked her right now. Like, you see her being like quirky, you're seeing more so of her character, not just like this hard shell. She's kind of like opening up, and at the end, her holding hands with Oshan, my boy Oshan with that W kissing Ava. Let him cook. And then we see Greg's dad comes over to be like a chaperone for the final field trip at the museum, and initially, Janine is playing like this role, trying to appease to him when she finally peels that and goes back to being, what a normal second grade teacher is. He being Greg's dad ends up opening up as well, and then Mr. Eddie, again, my boy, let his shine go, Tyler James Williams. He's like, yo, what? My whole life, we never did anything like this. That was like fun. You were always like that mean dad. Didn't really let me have fun. And now, with Janine, she's doing her thing. He's, having these voices, and he's like, oh, I'm Mr. Squirrel, and he's like playing along perfectly fine. And Greg kind of like freaked out, like, yo, where was this when I was a kid? Come on now. It sounded like he kind of like had Greg in a box, for what it sounds like. Yeah, shout out to Oshan. I mean, he got a W at the end, but he gave Ava these expensive like earrings that she just wasn't messing with, and even Barbara was like, I don't know about all this. So at the end of the day, we know Ava loves frying Oshan, but in this case, even Barbara agreed, and Barbara's usually the one person that's like, kind of like, she's not a mean person. So it's like, if even Barb's saying this, then yeah. So overall, let's get into the whole entire thing. So, like I said, Ava really grew on me this season. And at the beginning, episode 1, we learned that they're building a new golf course right on basically in the same location, really relatively close at least, to the Abbott Elementary school. And this whole thing ends up coming out of it, and obviously we know that they end up bribing Abbott Elementary and giving them gifts, this, that, and the third. They go to an event. Now, it wasn't really the most intent with that event, but at the end of the day, Abbott Elementary won, so I won at the end of the day. And then they were also the smoothie drink thing as well, right at the beginning of the season, where they went out and they were trying to take away the smoothie place, and from what I remember, I think they kept it. And then there was also the bus thing as well, where Janine and everybody else had to like find a way for their students to go to school because the bus services were down. They were protesting, and yeah, just so many insane things happened this season. Shout out to Barbara. I love me some Barbara. I love her, and I've been seeing her like, not the actress of Barbara, which I believe is like, I think her name is Cheryl something. I saw her recently. She's been doing her thing. Shout out to Cheryl. Yeah, shout out to Wow, you're really not giving these off the rip? Jesus Christ. Shout out to Cheryl Lee Ralph. She fire. Shout out to her. I was just in the Abbott Elementary Reddit, so I was trying to read up on what everybody's talking about, and I saw a picture of her, like, oh damn, like 7K likes. I'm like, hey, I see you, Barbara. I see you, Mrs. Howard. I see you. Mr. Johnson, man, this guy, he's my GOAT, man. He's the GOAT janitor. He's unintentionally hysterical. Like, shout out to my GOAT, Mr. Johnson. You also want to know who's hysterical as well? This man Tariq. Tariq isn't in every episode, but when he is in an episode, he's the main character. Shout out to Zach Fox, who he's so many different things. He's a rapper, comedian, actor, writer, DJ, and illustrator, according to Google.com. Like, this man is just him. No glaze. This man is just him. Shout out to bro. Just hysterical. He came in to chaperone once when everybody was on strike. Not on strike, but they were temporarily suspended for a little bit. I'll get into that as well. He subbed in him and Ivy. Ivy from Good Luck Charlie. They ended up both chaperoning, or tried to. They're both with like the PTA, so they have motion, if you will. So yeah. But what I really want to get into overall is, also I do want to mention, shout out to my glorious queen, Melissa, winning with the firemen. Shout out to her. To the moment with her sister. And that was hysterical. Typical Italian disagreement right there. But what I really want to get into for the most part is what's it called? When Ava sorority sister, I forgot what her name is, she told that basically told the district that Abbott Elementary was receiving illegal like bribes from another place, and they went out. The district went out and they went out and did a search. Everything was perfectly fine. To the very last second, the golf people pull up, and then they said, "Oh, new gifts for Abbott Elementary, my favorite people." And then they're all there, and it's cooked. Ava's cooked. Ava's fried. Ava's absolutely fried. What I'm really surprised at is at the time initially nobody stood up for Ava. So Ava took all the blame for the bribes. Nobody said a single thing. They said that the district said that they would only get a temporary suspension. They didn't take it. Ava was like, "Oh, that was me. I'll take all blame for it. All I'm gonna get is a suspension." Nope. She ended up getting fired from her job. Appealed, denied, and then eventually ended up getting appealed the second time around. But so many things had to happen. It was just absolutely insane. What else did I want to get into? The huenormous. If you're like a 22-year-old or 20 or 23, whatever year old young adult like me, that huenormous cameo was fire. Huenormous from Wizards of Waverly Place. Shout out to my guy Josh. Hey, shout out to bro. That was fire. He was in the back, and it was when Greg was doing like Uber sharing or whatever. He was delivering pizzas and doing Uber at the same time. Shout out to bro. Shout out to Huenormous. That was a fire cameo there at the end, and he was like something about them like being quiet and things like that while he was just in the back, because apparently it was like a quiet ride and they were talking, they were whispering, but he could hear them whispering. Hey, Huenormous, you him, bro, you him. By the way, I'm still rewatching the final season of Wizards of Waverly Place right now. Then I can watch the new one with Selena Gomez, and I believe Justin's in there as well. But yeah, almost. I'm on like Harper getting a license right now. So if you know, you know. If you know, you know. The disgusting look on Ava's face when Janine walked in with the same dress as her in one of the episodes absolutely fried me. I really liked the progression of Ava and Janine's relationship, if you will, because it's not really like a big time relationship, but at least they can be playful. So it's not just like Ava just shunning her all the time. It's also, what's it called? Janine's just quirky. She's just a lot of energy. And then Ava's just like, Ava has energy, but she's like more so like selfish. She's more so egotistical, more so materialistic. So that's what Ava was really motivated and really wants at everything. She just wants her money. Ava just wants her bread at the end of the day. And Janine, with this high energy, I mean, she can get on people certain times, especially early in the morning. She thinks she can fix everything. She never gives up. I mean, hey, shout out to Greg though. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Greg. Shout out to Greg. Did I mention that earlier? I'm happy that the fact that I didn't mention this whole entire time, Jesus Christ. I'm happy that Janine and Gregory stopped trolling and they finally got together. Obviously, the end of season 3, they were at the field trip and they had kind of like a moment. And then beginning of season 4, they finally end up getting together and they end up moving in and doing all this and doing that and wearing matching like cringe like costumes together. Ugh. Second embarrassment was insane, but shout out to them. Shout out to them. Yeah, man. Ava's character development, the series, man, and at the end, she told, she didn't tell. She's still getting better at being honest with people because she didn't want to let Oshan down. That the earrings just weren't really. She just wasn't messing with them, but he ends up seeing her take them off, and then she tried to play it off like, "Oh, I think they might have slipped off." And he's like, "Nah, I saw you take them off," and he's like, "I know you like expensive gifts. I swung and missed. That wasn't my first option, though. I have them custom things for you. I know it's lesser on the price scale, but I think this more so fits you." And he ends up giving her, not giving her, but showing her on his phone. And at the end, they officially, I think, got to give a shout out to my dog, Oshan. And shout out to Greg as well. Greg, so there's a student named RJ. He really wasn't interested in anything. They tried to get him on the podcast as like the manager, not the manager, but the producer. They tried to get him into, into like gardening, and he just wasn't much of anything. And then all of a sudden, they go to the event with the golf club, and he ends up getting him into the golf club, and they end up bringing the golf club to Abbott Elementary, funded by the people at the right near them that just built up this new facility for golf. And shout out to them, that was fire. RJ needed that badly. Got other people as well that are interested in golf. W's all around. Like I mentioned, Janine and Ava's relationship is so hysterical. Like, Janine was there for Ava at her lowest time. She would never give up when she got fired. Only thing Janine, I mean, she tried to initially when the district was there to fire Ava after they saw that they were accepting bribes. She tried to chime in and say her thing, but Ava did push her down. I will say that. That's like the only person, maybe like Melissa blurted something out, but just not enough at that very moment, in my opinion, that they did to stop the district from firing Ava on the spot, because obviously they were in on it as well, and they were obviously benefiting from it, as well as obviously the students as well. So that's all I gotta say about that, though. Ava ends up after that making a good amount of money, and we see Greg, who ends up failing for a little bit. He ends up getting a check, and he's like, "So this what y'all making? Okay, heard you." And there's Daya and Ava are made for each other. They're both like really like not really like over the top. They're not really like not high, but they're not really like, they won't like overreact or show really any emotion at various points. They'll just like, they're just very at points dry. They won't just go over the top. So he was telling her, and Daya just didn't care at all. So yeah, Greg was happy to get away from Daya, but he definitely missing that bag. He took basically 2-in-1 jobs, as well as the job as the teacher, just to help around. So hey, shout out to bro. Yeah, Ava was doing her TED Talks, not TED Talks. We're talking TED Talks, and she was cooking. She just recently got all these opportunities. The teachers all went to see her. She was doing her thing. Shout out to Ava. But you can tell that when they were there to watch her and they left, you can see that she missed them, which Janine had to just nudge a little bit and ended up getting her job back. Again, I'm really glad that Melissa won. Initially she was just asking the fireman out, and apparently he had like a side piece, so he couldn't really like lock it down with her. But then she really told him how she felt. And then, they're locked in. Shout out to Melissa as well. Big Eagles fan. They won the Super Bowl. Shout out to Melissa. Also shout out to Barbara and Jill Scott for helping, with the fundraising and getting all the necessary money. Hey, that was fire. That was fire. And it's really smart, in my opinion, how Abbott Elementary isn't pre-recorded, so anything can happen, and they will have it on the season, which is really, really smart. Like the whole Eagles Super Bowl thing, the amount of things that happened throughout the months they filmed this whole entire thing. So many things happened that they also included as well. So, from Jalen Hurts early on in the season to the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, just the only Sunny in Philadelphia cameos, like amazing, just chef's kiss, absolutely amazing. And last thing I wanted to get into, but shout out to Ava, man. Shout out to Ava. Ava has a W support system. Like I said, her dad, who they ended up building somewhat of a solid relationship towards the end, as he worked in the barbershop. And initially Greg knew, but he didn't want to let anybody else know. And then Janine found out, as he didn't want to tell Janine because Ava specifically told him not to tell anybody. And then I think they ended up patching things up a decent amount. District pack, district, y'all try to take away Ava, my GOAT. District, I know y'all mad that Janine snubbed y'all. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. Y'all gotta chill. Ava be frying O'Shawn like there is no tomorrow. It is one of the most hysterical things. You just absolutely love to see it. Ava's just playful gesture, and then they're playing off that with O'Shawn, who started off as an IT, and he was like double checking Ava's like computer and spending extra time. Like, O'Shawn, you think you slick, my boy? You him though. You definitely him. Hey, that season finale was fire. If I missed anything as well, comment down below. Really good season of Abbott Elementary. Like I said, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Ava won, Melissa won. I didn't really miss anything with Jacob. Shout out to Jacob. Get that one bus moment, which was alright, I guess. And he ended up losing his mans, but he ended up going to karaoke. I think he might have got somebody else, if I'm not mistaken. So, hey, Jacob, do you, big bro? Do you, big bro? Like I said, shout out to my boy, Mr. Johnson. And I'm glad that Gregory and Janine stopped trolling. And my boy O'Shawn got him some fine shit, bro. Ava was with Iggy, and now she with my boy O'Shawn. Let my boy O'Shawn cook. Shout out to my boy Tariq. Hysterical. Amazing. Shout out to Quinta Brunson. I want to shout out everybody really in Abbott Elementary real quick, because this is a phenomenal cast. Like I said, one of my favorite shows. I would say might be my top 10. So when I watch, I'm a big hypebeast guy. So yeah, if I'm saying top 10, yeah. Shout out to Quinta Brunson. Shout out to my boy Tyler James Williams, Lisa Ann Walter, Janelle James. By the way, she's going to my college. You all right? Shout out to Janelle James, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Chris Perfetti. I know y'all saw that Chris Perfetti video on the Janelle Hudson show right before they got into that. Shout out to Zach Fox, this Tariq. Shout out to my boy William Stanford Davis as Mr. Johnson, Maurice as Vince Staples. Hey, Vince Staples as well, like Zach Fox. He's an artist, but he's also an actor. That's very, very impressive. Shout out to Ayo Edeberry, New England legend. She was Aisha. Orlando Jones as Martin Eddy, as Gregory Eddy's, dad. And then Raven Goodwin, aka Ivy from Good Luck Charlie, was in this as well. Yeah, that was fine. And then you got Morton as Jerry Minor, bro. People hate Morton. Bro, is there a single Morton fan on Abbott Elementary? I mean, obviously we know that Mr. C, aka Mr. Hill, bro, aka Jacob. We know he hates Morton more than anything in the world. But shout out to bro. Shout out to bro. Really good season of Elementary. Like I said, cool. 8.5 out of 10. Wait, did I give it an 8.5 or did I give it a 9? Might have given it like a 9. Okay, I give it a 9. I give it a 9 because the Janine, the Ava, the Greg, 9 out of 10. Really good season. Really good season. Perfect bow on season. Like I said, if I missed anything, comment down below. Love to interact with y'all and see what I missed. Talk about Abbott Elementary, such a GOAT show. Just absolute chef's kiss, just absolutely beautiful to die for. To absolutely die for. But yeah, other than that, y'all, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. It's your boy John. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.